Hi guys, zpolt here. Welcome to my lab. Today we're gonna look at the TRN IM1. So a lot of you guys have been asking me to take a look at this, and this is the newest IEM of TRN. And as most of us know, TRN really makes great products. I'm really excited to get to review this in this lab. We're gonna find out if it's good sounding, how does it compare as well to the ES4 and the ZSN and also the ZST and most of the earphones that I have here as well. We're gonna find out if it's my top recommendation from now on. But before that, we review budgetfi to mid-fi audio gear. So if you're into that, consider subscribing. We're also gonna have a budgetfi giveaway soon, so make sure you are subscribed for updates. I'm nearly 2,000 subscribers. I will make the channel announcement in the 2,000 subscriber count, so stay tuned. So right off the bat, let's check the build first. So the build is mostly made of plastic. Actually, when I'm looking at the box before, I thought it was metal, but it is plastic. There's laminated plastic in the lobes. It looks metal from the outside, but it is plastic. And this side, there's sort of like a paint texture with a sort of a toy finish. I didn't like the toy finish. It feels not so upscale compared to what you get with maybe KZs and the TFZs, so that feels more upscale compared to this one. The cord is great. It has already some memory. I like the subdued color, and yeah, always TRN cords is something that I like. So one minor gripe here is the fork is too far from the lobes. So when you're wearing it, it's sort of like in your belt buckle already. Here in the plug part, it is a straight plug, not an L plug. So yeah, it will depend on you if you like that or not. I don't like it. I like an L plug because in my pocket, it doesn't feel good when you have a straight plug there. It feels that it's gonna break. So I would say pretty average in terms of build. I wouldn't really rave about it. Here in the tips part, it's sort of like the ZS3 kind of tips. It feels kind of rough, not as smooth as maybe the spin fits. That is my favorite texture out of the bunch. So the comfort here, I would say, is pretty average. The ZSNs have better comfort. It has a better fit compared to the IM1. So overall, my impressions in the build overall is pretty average for me. Now let's go to the meat of our discussion, which is the sound. So right off the bat, I kind of like this more, to be honest, than the ZSN and the ES4, and here is why. So this is a better resolving earphone than the ZSN and the ES4. So it has more detail, which kind of shows how this is designed. So from my sources, this was designed to be a monitor. So yeah, this kind of reminds me of my M60X in terms of the clarity and sparkle on top. So I get the design methodology that this is kind of a monitor earphone. So it has a more punchy sound, it's musical, but I would say it's also okay for casual listening. It's kind of an airy, kind of open sound. It feels quite open compared to the ZSN and the ES4. So the signature is V-shaped. It has recessed mids, but it also has that warmth in the sound as well. So the soundstage here is quite intimate. It's smaller than the KZs. Usually for monitors, it's good to have a smaller kind of soundstage so you can listen to instruments better because it's more upfront. There's no instruments that is in the background. So yeah, the soundstage here is quite small, smaller than the KZs. That may be a downside or upside for some. If you're gonna monitor, this is okay. Hi, so the TRN IM1 has sparkle in the highs, more sparkle than the ZSN and the ES4. It has good resolution across the highs, good body. The cymbals here feels really good. It's fuller sounding compared to the KZs. It's well controlled as well. It's not sibilant, not overextended, I would say, but it has some sparkle. I would say even listenable even in guitar tracks. The highs are very good here. I'm a fan of the highs here. Mids are better than the KZ ZSN. I would say not better than the ES4. The ES4 still has fuller body mids, but the mids here has nice layering. It has good body, but yeah, thinner comparison to the ES4. This is more punchy than the ES4. The ZSNs, I would say even more resolving than the ZSN. So yeah, I would really praise the resolution here. Bass are the strength of this. I would say it has deep bass response and forward in the mix as well, so you can get to listen to the bass here. I would say this can be good for bass heads. It is in the boomy side and has some rumble in some tracks, but I would say it's still well controlled. It doesn't overpower the rest of the spectrum, and I would say this has deeper bass compared to the ZSN and the ES4 as well. It's nicely resolving as well. It's not thin sounding. Imaging, there's good imaging for the price. I would say this is one of the strong suits of this as well. Even if it has a small soundstage, the imaging here is quite good. You can pinpoint easily the instruments here. I would say not in the same level as the Tin Audio T2 Pros. Those are still superior, but this is not a slouch. Instrument separation, again, not so pronounced here given the small soundstage, but it has good imaging. It's forgivable, I would say. Sometimes it can be fatiguing in high volume, especially for rock and guitar tracks. Sound comparison. So this kind of reminds me of the Kodonguri brass, but this has more aggressive highs. The brass has more kind of relaxed kind of highs compared to this. Compared to the Galaxy T2, I would say that the resolving power and tonality is comparable, I would say. Not in the same level as the T2, but this sort of reminds me of the Galaxy T2. Full sound, it has good energy and sort of a tight punch. Compared to the Shure 215s, this is more V-shaped than the 215s. It has more accentuated highs, more sparkle in the highs, but not too V-shaped. I would say it's still balanced in approach. Compared to the ZSN, this has better layered mids and resolution than the ZSNs. A little bit more top end, but this has more sub-bass in the IM1. The IM1 has more energy. The IM1 has more lush mids. More natural timbre in the sounds. I would say that the ZSN, as I mentioned in my review, I didn't like really the mids there. Here in the IM1, the mids are better. Compared to the ES4, the IM1 has more top end. It's more balanced as well and has more sparkle and a punchier kind of sound. Compared to the ZST, the IM1 has more sparkle again. It has a tighter bass response. It's more in-your-face kind of bass. It has, you know, that punch in the music. It feels kind of live. Better layered mids and detailed mids as well here in the IM1. In terms of genres, as I mentioned, I really like this for rock. It has some crunchy guitars when you're using this for overdriven kind of guitar music. It's also nice for acoustic with energetic acoustic string sound. So the twang, you can really hear the twang here. It feels kind of live. It's nice for world music as well. So the drum solos feel so nice. You sort of have several instruments in the band. It feels quite nice to have that kind of live feeling. So overall, this has better detail than the $20 earphones that I have mentioned. So definitely I kind of prefer this now over those two. This is something that I can use daily. This is a daily driver. I like that it has some sparkle on top. It has very good detail. The soundstage is quite intimate, so it may be for you, not for you. It will depend on you. But yeah, for me, resolution is better than anything else. And also I prefer kind of a live kind of tone, a live kind of sound. So definitely I would gladly use this for monitoring. But it has some V-shaped kind of sound, so that may deter you from getting this. But I would say that is sort of an enjoyable listen for me. I like the sound here overall. I like the details. I quite like the package overall. But I would gladly recommend this for those looking for 1,000 peso earphone. Hopefully you can still get that at that price. From my sources, it will be now up to, I think, $30. Hopefully you can still get this for a good price. If you can get this for 1,000 pesos, this will be a good price for you. So that is my review. Hopefully you like that. So I'm kind of trying this sort of scripted kind of review so I can collect my thoughts better. Let me know down below what you think of this kinds of reviews. Do you like this better or not? So I'm reserving the hype kind of videos in the unboxing ones because sometimes I get too excited in the unboxing. So it will be good for me to separate it so I can really collect my thoughts and reviews and really, you know, put down my notes and stuff like that. I think I can really articulate how earphone sounds like when I'm doing sort of a more scripted review. So let me know down below what you think of reviews like this. And of course, I'm gonna review a lot more earphones in the future. And I'm gonna see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.